So now let's go ahead and import an object into our game. To do this, we're going to go to, first off, you're going to actually download the file. So you'll see a link to a Google Drive file, right click that, download it, and then make sure you can find it in your downloads folder. So you have, go to your content drawer and click on import. Now mine is going to look different than yours because I'm on a Mac, not a PC, but the same basic things apply. You just hit import, then you navigate to that folder, specifically your downloads folder. And you're going to see this simplering.fbx. Now, FBX is a file type that stores three-dimensional data like your mesh, your materials, and animations. For us, we just have a mesh. So go ahead and click on that and click on open. And then you're going to get an import FBX import option. We don't want to change anything here. Just click import all. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to go to my content drawer and I can see that I actually imported it into the wrong spot. I don't want it here. So I'm going to click Simple Ring. I'm going to drag that into content. Click move here. I'm going to create a new folder. I'll call this meshes. Add that in there. And I'm going to take my Simple Ring and drag that into meshes. Click move here. There we go. Now I'll take the Simple Ring. I'm going to drag that into my scene. And whoa, that is big. Not quite what we're looking for. We want it a lot smaller. So I'm going to go to scale. I'm going to set this to scale 0.1 on all axes. And there we go. We have a simple little ring there. I will set the location to be 0, 0, 0. And drag that up so we can see it. And then zoom to it. So this does not have a material. Well, it has the basic default world grid material. So it doesn't look like anything really. I'm going to select my material down here with the ring selected. I have this material and I'm going to set it to just be basic floor for now. Just have something on it. Reality though, we want to create our own material. To do that, first we'll go to our content drawer, content folder, create a new folder, and I will call this materials. Double click that, go to new folder. We want to create a new material. To do that, we right click, click material, and then we'll call this M underscore, capital M underscore ring. Now that M is a naming convention, so we know what kind of file this is without really having to look for it. In fact, we should actually go into our meshes folder, the simple ring that's there. I'm going to right click that and then rename. And I'm going to do SM underscore simple ring. Now SM stands for skeletal mesh. That's the kind of object it is. This material here is a material, so it's M underscore ring. And let's go ahead and double click that and open it up. And we now have a separate editor just for this material. I'm going to click this and drag this and dock it there on this tab so we can switch between the different editors. So this M material selected, add this base color. Let's go ahead and set that color. I'm going to set it to bright red. Click OK. You can see that this preview over here changed to red. Now there are a ton of different settings here that we're not going to worry about yet. We'll get to that later though. But for now, let's go ahead and hit the save button right there. That saves the material. I can go back to my test map. And I want to give this ring that new material. All I have to do, I could go here and change it down to materials, but instead I'm going to go to my content drawer, find this material that I made and drag that onto the ring. So now my ring has that material. It's now red. So I can see that my lighting is a little dark. It's kind of hard to see things. So I'm actually going to select my directional light. I'm going to change the angle of it so it's pointed above. So it's a little bit brighter and easier to see. And I now have that ring and I can see it's a bright red. Cool. Let's go ahead and modify this a little more though. We have our first node editor. So this is a material node editor. So we can actually add nodes here and connect them to different values. What I'm doing here is I'm holding the right mouse button, which lets me drag around the view, and I can scroll on the mouse to zoom in and out. So I can actually right click in and pull up a menu of all the different nodes I can add in. Or I can actually take my base color and there's a little node right there. I can drag here and it'll tell me what nodes I can use from this. I can select color, which we can do that. Constants. Let's grab a constant 3 vector. Now, what is this? Well, this lets us set our different color values for the color. I can double click this box right there and I can set that color again. I click OK. But I can actually take these colors and apply them other places. So I can take this red, green, or blue values and attach them to different places. What I like about this though is I can also adjust the opacity, the alpha. So colors are done in RGB, red, green, and blue. If I want pure red, I set red 100, green to 0, blue to 0. If I want a pure blue, I switch it so I have 0 red, 0 green, 1 blue. Again, though, I'm going to leave this as just red. But I can change the alpha. We have RGBA. Alpha is the transparency. So I can take this and lower the value and it becomes a little transparent. You click OK, then click Save. But that opacity doesn't apply automatically. Go to Material Domain down here in the bottom corner. I can switch the blend mode to translucent. And I can attach that alpha to the opacity value. I now have a kind of ghosty look. Click Save. And now I have a semi-transparent ring. We can set these, we're going to set these up in our game as targets you can fly through. We want them to kind of be noticeable without being overly, in the way. I can also set the emissive color. So the emissive color is light that the object emits. If I drag off from emissive color and I do a constant vector 4, constant 4 vector, I set this to pure white. Click Save. It'll now emit a color. So objects near it will kind of get a glowy kind of vibe. So that might be too much. I'll bring that back down. We'll click on Save. And there we go. We have a slightly glowy ring that's transparent. Now, if I add in a cube to our scene, I'll just add a cube in here, the origin, and just drag it up, move it over to the side. This cube has the shape, basic shape material. I can take my material and drag that onto that object. Helps if I can actually see it and do it. And now that cube has that material. I made one material and then I can apply it to multiple things. And in fact, let's say I don't want it to be red. What if I want it to be... I can go into the material. So I can just open up the material and go to here and I can switch it to blue instead. Click Save. And now those objects change color because they share the same material. When you change one, the other gets changed. Cool. Though I am going to put this back to red because that's the color I'm going to want it to be. I'm going to change my emissive color to be a lighter red, like that. Yours can be whatever you want it to be. And then hit Save. Leave that there. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that cube. That was just there for an example. Now we have our ring. All right, well, that's going to be it for this video. The next one, we will get into creating our first blueprint and adding our first little mini script.